When anyone has any type of disease, they usually go to the hospital to cure it because everyone believes science has all kinds of solutions. Even if a person reaches their final stage, medical science still tries because they never give up. But do you really think science has answers for everything? If yes, then watch this video because you're about to prove you wrong. Today, we're going to show you some real living people whose bodies and conditions have forced science to give up and simply accept them as they are. These are people who confuse doctors and challenge logic. So get ready, because this video is going to be more interesting than you think. Let's dive in. Number 15, Harper Lioy. At the moment she entered the world in 2015, doctors were already scrambling. Harper was born in Edmonds, Washington, with something unseen in most neonatal textbooks. The skin that emerged formed thick armor-like plates, restricting her movement and temperature regulation. That rare condition, harlequin ichthyosis, affects roughly 1 in 500,000 newborns and forced Harper to spend her earliest months in intensive care. Her treatment demands 3-hour-long showers every day, constant application of ointments, and specialized tens of thousands of dollars in clothing and care. Years in, she does more than endure the routines. She plays soccer, dances, models. Her condition still limits parts of her life, with cracked skin, infections, and fragile circulation, reminding her that science still doesn't have a full answer. She exists in a space where medicine meets mystery, a body quietly declaring that even when science fights, sometimes we just observe. Number 14, Tony, the alligator skin boy, Harris. Around the early 1910s, on the boardwalks of Coney Island, a young man known as Tony appeared under the banner, the alligator skin boy. His skin texture, likened in carnival posters to reptilian scales, drew wide eyes and paid stares. That presentation pointed to a likely form of ichthyosis, though records are sparse. Photographs and sideshow catalogs describe a teenager with skin patterns described as alligator-like. He performed at the famed Dreamland, Coney Island amusement site, where flesh and blood oddities were attractions in the early 20th century. No medical journal chronicled his case, no proof came forward of a definitive diagnosis. What remains is the image of someone whose body lay outside the medical scripts of the day. For Tony, the skin that made him public merchandise also made him a lingering scientific question, a reminder that some conditions sit just beyond explanation. Number 13, Johnny Zandow Gilmore. Crowds in the 1940s circus scene couldn't look away from the man called Zandow. He stood shirtless under the tent lights, muscles carved like sculpture, yet his act had little to do with strength. Johnny Gilmore's skin had an elasticity so unnatural that doctors couldn't explain it. He could stretch it several inches away from his body, then snap it back with no sign of pain. Some guessed Ehlers-Danlos syndrome, a rare connective tissue disorder, but there was no confirmed diagnosis. Spectators called him a human rubber man, while researchers argued over how his body could handle that level of strain without tearing. Born in the early 1900s, Johnny turned what baffled medicine into entertainment, traveling through sideshows across the country. Even now, photos of Zandow's performances leave questions no one can medically pin down. How a single man could live in a body that seemed to bend the rules of human biology. You might want to take a breath before this next case. Number 12, Yvette MacArthur. Yvette MacArthur never set foot on a stage without her twin sister Yvonne. Born in 1948, their mirrored faces and synchronized movements made them instant favorites in mid-century sideshows. But the fascination wasn't just resemblance. It was their shared disorder, an unknown form of skeletal asymmetry that caused both girls to grow at mismatched rates. One arm longer, one leg thinner, identical yet uneven. Physicians examined them for years, labeling their condition as developmental anomaly of unknown type. Unlike many performers, the MacArthur sisters didn't rely on tricks or makeup. They simply stood together, letting the crowd question what they saw. Yvette, the quieter one, often answered interviews with a shrug, saying doctors stopped trying to fix them because no treatment ever matched the cause. The mystery of their symmetry and difference remains unsolved. Two sisters whose bodies never followed the same pattern, no matter how long medicine tried to draw it. Number 11. Venicio Reva. When Pope Francis embraced Venicio Reva in 2013, cameras flashed, but no one could look away from the man himself. Born in Vicenza, Italy in 1965, Venicio lives with neurofibromatosis type 1, a genetic disorder that causes countless benign tumors to grow across the body. By his late teens, thick nodules had covered his face, neck, and torso, leaving his features almost unrecognizable. Despite numerous medical studies, no treatment has been able to fully stop the progression or reverse the growths. His doctors describe the condition as unpredictable. Each patient's body behaves differently, and even genetic mapping has failed to explain why. For Venicio, pain and surgeries became routine. Yet his calm presence during that famous moment with the Pope shifted public attention toward what medicine still can't control. His case remains an unanswered question in dermatology and genetics, a human example of how the body can grow beyond the boundaries science has drawn. Number 10. Lizzy xeroderma pigmentosum. Sunlight, what most people seek out for warmth, is what Lizzy must avoid entirely. Born in the mid-1990s, she carries xeroderma pigmentosum, an inherited disorder so rare that even a few minutes of UV exposure can severely burn or damage her skin. By the age of 2, doctors had confirmed her body lacked the enzymes needed to repair DNA damage from ultraviolet rays. That meant no outdoor play, no daylight without heavy protection, and windows covered with UV filters. Fewer than 1 in a million people share this condition. Yet despite strict care and full-body shielding, physicians still find her resilience extraordinary. How she maintains healthy skin tissue when most with XP develop cancers early. Researchers continue to study her molecular samples, trying to uncover how her cell regeneration process differs. Lizzy lives by timing her world around nightfall, her body a living example of how even a single missing enzyme can rewrite all medical expectations. And if you thought that was rare, the next one changes everything. Number 9. Caroline mast cell activation syndrome and severe food allergies. In 2019, Caroline's body began reacting violently to places most people consider safe. By age 20, she had already endured dozens of hospital visits for throat swelling, breath shortness, and rashes that would appear without warning. Doctors eventually identified her condition as mast cell activation syndrome, a disorder in which her mast cells released histamine and other chemicals without usual triggers. Her symptoms ranged across skin, digestive system, respiratory tract, and circulatory system. Tests showed multiple organ systems involved. Unlike classic allergies where a trigger is clear, Caroline's flare-ups defied predictable cause and baffled specialists. Even 2 years of advanced immunological treatment slowed them but did not eliminate them. Her diet shrank to only 2 safe foods, and even minor exposures forced emergency care. Science still doesn't entirely map why her body allows mast cells to misfire so frequently or how to permanently suppress the reactions. Caroline lives within that unresolved space, her body a living example of a condition still at the edge of medical comprehension. Number 8. Charelle aquagenic urticaria, water-triggered hives. Imagine that a dash of water across your arm brings instant hives. That's Charelle's reality. At about age 8, she started to notice that showering, rainfall, or even sweat would spark raised, itchy welts across her skin regardless of water temperature or source. Doctors diagnosed her with aquagenic urticaria, a condition recognized in fewer than 100 documented cases worldwide. Her condition forces lifestyle adjustments most people don't consider. Bathing under strict timing, wearing protective gear outdoors, and constant vigilance. The allergic reaction comes from skin contact with water. Drinking it doesn't trigger the same effect. Dermatologists still debate how water triggers mast cell-mediated responses in the skin, and why some bodies allow this interaction at all. Charelle manages her daily life around the unknown. A skin barrier cream here, an antihistamine there, and always the question of, when will it flare? Number 7. Beth extreme allergies. Beth's world shrank to a few cubic meters. Every scent, touch, or trace of chemical could set her body into chaos. She wasn't born allergic. Her symptoms developed suddenly in her early 20s after a routine infection. Doctors diagnosed her with multiple chemical sensitivity combined with idiopathic anaphylaxis, but no single cause has ever been found. Perfume, detergent, or even her phone's plastic casing could cause her throat to close. She lives inside a filtered home lined with medical-grade air purifiers, where food arrives vacuum-sealed and utensils are sterilized before use. Dozens of allergists and immunologists have studied her case, running genetic and toxicology tests, but no pattern connects the triggers. Even exposure therapy has failed. To this day, her blood panels show normal readings, yet her body continues to treat harmless substances as deadly. Medicine can describe what happens, but not why. Beth remains one of those rare medical enigmas that exist between data and disbelief. Let's continue with one that turned the medical world upside down. Number 6. Porsche ichthyosis confetti. Freckles that move, skin that replaces itself. Porsche lives with one of the rarest dermatological conditions known. Born in 1991, she developed ichthyosis confetti, where her skin constantly regenerates and sheds at up to 14 times the normal rate. Her body produces red scaly patches scattered with islands of normal skin, resembling flakes of confetti, hence the name. Doctors call it genetic mosaicism, but what triggers its random skin reversions still eludes research. Every cell in Porsche's skin seems to follow its own set of instructions, rewriting her genetic map as she ages. Daily moisturizing, salt baths, and topical retinoids help manage pain and scaling, but the root cause continues to challenge dermatologists. Scientists studying her DNA found that some cells mysteriously correct themselves, creating patches of healthy skin that appear overnight. No one fully understands how her cells achieve that self-repair. The next example might just leave you questioning what's possible. Number 5. Lydia Fairchild. Human chimera. When Lydia Fairchild applied for public assistance in Washington State in 2002, she expected paperwork, not a courtroom. Routine DNA testing was required to confirm maternity, but results came back impossible. She wasn't the mother of her own children. Another test repeated the same conclusion. Prosecutors accused her of fraud until medical experts stepped in and uncovered something science rarely sees. Lydia carried 2 sets of DNA, one in her blood and another in her reproductive organs. She is a natural human chimera, a condition caused when 2 embryos fuse in early development, forming one person with 2 genetic codes. Her body literally contains 2 people's DNA in one frame. Geneticists used biopsies from different tissues to prove the dual origin, yet no theory fully explains why the fusion persisted so perfectly. Number 4. Natasha Demkina girl with X-ray vision. In 2004, a teenage girl from Saransk, Russia, began making headlines for something no medical scanner could replicate. Natasha Demkina claimed she could see inside human bodies, describing internal organs and diagnosing illnesses without any equipment. Born in 1987, she first noticed her second sight at age 10. When doctors tested her under controlled studies, results stayed mixed, sometimes eerily accurate, other times no better than chance. Still, her detailed descriptions of tumors, fractures, and tissue conditions kept scientists debating. Ophthalmologists found no optical abnormalities, neurologists found no lesions, and psychologists failed to classify her perception under any known category. Despite skepticism, No clear explanation has emerged for how she gathers such specific anatomical detail. Whether it's heightened pattern recognition, subconscious observation, or something beyond present knowledge, Natasha remains a puzzle that neither neuroscience nor ophthalmology has solved. If that surprised you, wait until you see who comes next. Number 3. Carly Findlay ichthyosis. Crowds first noticed Carly Findlay for her sharp humor and confidence long before they understood her condition. Born in Melbourne in 1982, she lives with ichthyosis form of congenital erythroderma, a rare genetic disorder that causes her skin to appear red, scaly, and constantly renewing. Her face flushes not from emotion, but from constant cellular turnover. As a child, doctors tested countless creams and treatments, but nothing altered the genetic base driving her skin's hyper-renewal. Despite medical curiosity, no clear explanation exists for why her subtype manifests more severely than others with the same mutation. Even genome sequencing failed to pinpoint the extra variable. Carly has turned that medical ambiguity into routine. Daily exfoliation, hours of moisturizing, and regular hospital monitoring. Dermatologists continue studying her case for its unusually rapid skin regeneration rate. Her life highlights a rare biological process that still escapes a molecular explanation, a body in permanent renewal mode that medicine can only observe, not reverse. Number 2. Lucy Beale-Lott, butterfly skin. Skin that tears. With a touch, Lucy Beale-Lott knows that pain too well. Born in 2003 in the United States, she lives with epidermolysis bullosa, often called butterfly skin for its fragility. The slightest friction causes blistering and open wounds, leaving doctors focused on protection instead of cure. What makes Lucy's case unusual is the pattern. Her wounds heal, but reappear unpredictably, defying the usual progression charted in others with her genetic variant. Specialists have mapped her COL7A1 gene countless times, yet no mutation fully accounts for her symptoms. She spends hours each day applying medical dressings and ointments to prevent infection. In 2021, a biopsy study showed her body producing a mixed form of collagen, part normal, part defective, something rarely documented in any patient. Researchers still can't explain how her tissue balances that unstable mix without complete structural collapse. Number 1. Harper Lioy, harlequin ichthyosis. When Harper Lioy was born in Edmonds, Washington in 2015, doctors immediately knew they were seeing something rare. Her skin formed hard, diamond-shaped plates divided by deep red cracks, signs of harlequin ichthyosis, a genetic condition so uncommon that survival used to be nearly impossible. Within hours, she was moved to intensive care, her entire body coated in petroleum jelly and wrapped to retain moisture. Bathing became a medical procedure, repeated several times a day to soften the plates that restrict movement and breathing. Scientists know the cause lies in mutations of the ABCA12 gene, but they still don't understand why some children like Harper adapt and live while others cannot. Her skin grows and sheds constantly, requiring round-the-clock care and dozens of ointments. Despite decades of research, medicine can only manage, not cure, this disorder. Well, science may have conquered many mysteries, but as you've seen, the human body still holds more secrets than answers. Some of these people live under constant observation, while others continue their lives quietly beyond the reach of any explanation. The more we learn, the more questions appear, and that's what keeps discovery alive. If you've watched till now, you clearly enjoy real stories that challenge what we think we know. So hit that like button, subscribe, and stay tuned for more mind-opening realities.